the Seattle Seahawks, and they're on the 1 yard line, and all they got to do is run the play that they know, and they bring in Travis Scott. I don't see, and on top of that, as far as run-ins go, whether it's a celebrity run-in or whether it's a wrestler run-in, just the pacing of him walking slowly, sauntering down to the ring, I think for me, just completely pulled me out of that moment. Maybe
Okay.
what do you think?
So I've been thinking a lot about it. And I think that the main event specifically, but also WrestleMania 41 as a whole, is like Avengers Age of Ultron. Now, stick with me for those who don't know Avengers Age of Ultron. When it came out, it didn't really do anything that we wanted it to do. It didn't. But now we look back at that movie and it gets better and better every time we watch it because of what has happened since then. It was too much setup. The Samuel Jackson's like, show him what we got, and it's just Rhodey, who's basically Iron Man, should have been Captain Marvel, was supposed to be Captain Marvel. Then at the end, they have Scarlet Witch floating down instead of Captain Marvel being there. All these things that we had read up on, we had our expectations set, and all this stuff didn't get met. So we let our speculation become expectation. I think that that is really what it comes down to. Now, as far as Travis Scott sauntering down to the ring, I feel like he was given the note of like let the crowd feel it or something along those lines, and he didn't realize how freaking long the ramp was. Like you said, just run the ball, run the play. Like have a solid match, do these things. The Rock should have come out probably, especially when because people didn't make a sound for Travis Scott once they realized it was just him and The Rock wasn't there. Because
Yeah, it
the
was
last time
almost
we saw
like
The Rock, he had his music.
yeah, and
Yeah.
it's almost as if is they when they saw it was just Travis Scott, it was this kind of like and then nothing ever
Mhm.
came after that.
The only thing that Travis Scott needed to be involved with after slapping Cody was for Cody to get his receipt on him. My problem is
Nothing
that
more.
one night we have Travis Scott partying with Jey Uso, and then the next night we have him come out and toss Cody. So that coupled with WWE Unreal coming out, like kayfabe is just shattered, gone.
I feel that 100%. And on top of that, I mean, I think that's one of the toughest parts in today's social media age is to balance that level of kayfabe. Whereas the modern fan wants to not only be a fan of John Cena or Cody Rhodes, the wrestler, but also John Cena, Cody Rhodes, the individual, or that social media presence that they have. And kind of working that, I mean, because they're both brands. They're Cody Rhodes, the wrestler, is a brand, and then Cody Rhodes is the social media personality. Real life Cody is also a brand. So kind of being able to balance those two, it's a weird era that we're living in this. I mean, we're technically not in the what is it, the reality era anymore, but
Definitely not.
I feel as if the reality era is still here. And I
Mhm.
think I'm somebody who likes a little bit more of that old timey, like bring back kayfabe. It can't be done like it used to, but I really feel as if they could lean more into that bringing kayfabe into the social media, which they have done before. They did a great job on the lead up to Road to WrestleMania 40, where you had The Rock beating up Cody, and the only way that you could see it was on social media, or that Kevin Owens Cody Rhodes fight that they had. The only way that you could see it was social media. I thought that was great storytelling, but now bringing it into where I I wish they would go lean harder into kayfabe than they do these days.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. Now, you mentioned the social media aspect. Every time I open Threads, which is like X for Instagram's version of X, I see John Cena with some like inspirational quote, right? Like nothing changed since his heel turn as far as like what he's posting or what his social media manager is posting. Like Cena's always been inspirational. And then it kind of comes back to the Pat McAfee show stuff with The Rock, where he's like, Cena's a good guy. Known him for 20 years. He's a good guy. He's just telling the truth. Right. But like the real truth is that this is too little too late for like him being offended by all that stuff. Because nobody was booing him. Nobody was calling him Cena. They were singing Cena sucks, like when he comes out, like they did with Kurt Angle, but it was out of endearment, not out of trying to trash him. And then like Cena's like he's actively like if this had happened it feels like we're getting the 2012 heel turn Cena now. Everything he's saying would have worked wicked well back then. And yeah, so as far as the main event, before we get to our main topic, the main event, Cena wrestled it like a bad wrestler. Not like he did it bad, but he was just doing axe handle punches and basic stuff. Like he didn't do any of his 5 moves of doom, like none of them. And I think that was his message to the audience. Like, you've been insulting the way I wrestle all this time. Like, let me wrestle like the way you want to see. Let me do something like just slow, methodical beatdowns when you're on the ground and all this stuff. No comeback moves, none of that. And it felt very, I don't even want to say old school. It almost felt like antiquated with the way he was doing it. And I think that was intentional. And again, was I happy with the result? Of course. John Cena is my dog, and I want him to have everything. Number 17, that's my lucky number. Cena was my camp counselor before he became a wrestler. Like, come on, bro. The only thing that's missing is me being an actual wrestler, so I could challenge him for the title. But that's an alternate universe. Mostly exists in my dreams. I really wish I had pursued that. But anyway, so let's get on to this main topic here. You mentioned it perfectly, a great segue, and it's in the video description. Are The Rock and are John Cena kind of hurting their Hollywood careers by the way they're WWE is by the way they're doing WWE right now? Because The Rock comes back to WWE to help enhance his Hollywood. Cena comes back to help enhance his Hollywood. And now The Rock's getting crapped all over like he's freaking Hulk Hogan at the RNC. Well, not at the RNC, but after the RNC when everybody sees him. And now it's like The Rock is like, I mean, does he want to continue to get booed? Great, cool, whatever. But like, it feels like people are like, this is the wrong kind of heat. It's the like bad, like, I don't like you, go away heat versus I want to see you get your butt kicked heat. With John Cena, he's telling everybody he doesn't need us. He doesn't need it. Well, you kind of do need me to go buy my movie ticket. You kind of do need me to watch your television show. Like, you need that. I mean, Cena can talk all the crap he wants about me. Cena's does nothing wrong in my mind. But I want to ask you, do you feel like this could hurt their Hollywood performance, at least in the short term?
I think The Rock, yes. Cena, no. I feel as if The Rock, I just watched that Pat McAfee interview that he had.
Mm.
And I think the problem with The Rock is that he comes off as so disingenuous right now. He's like he feels as if he's like when you watch him, he's trying to toe this line of doing what's right for the business and also what's doing right for his career. And by doing both, I feel as if he's not being effective at either one. He's kind of drawing back on both of them because now his Hollywood shine, I feel is dampened a little bit because we're kind of seeing when the ball is in the Rock's court, he doesn't really do a great job of taking it to the rim. And then when it comes to the WWE part, I mean, we got this legend that whenever he came back, the place went crazy. But now you're starting to get the rumblings of, is he bad for business? Is he not doing what's best for the business? And I think that definitely will possibly, I think he's going to see some drawback on his movie career. But on the other end, I think Cena, yeah, this is probably, you're right. I think 2012 would have been the perfect time for this heel switch. But even so, while I feel as if the storyline is very convoluted. I think that the Monday Night Raw after Elimination Chamber, that promo that John Cena cut, I mean, Hollywood evil genius, evil villain monologue, perfect. I mean, he lit everybody on fire. So if you're looking at, I would say, as a Hollywood director, and I see that, I'm like, damn, that guy has a ton of range. Look at how he just he when the crowd started cheering his name, what did he do? He dug even deeper. because he's playing that true heel character. And I think the best part is he's not an evil hero heel character. He's just that heel. Whereas I think a great gimmick, and I think it's been said a million times, a great gimmick is your personality turned up to 11. I
Hmm.
feel as if it's the same exact. What are those little parts that eat at you and then turn those up to 11? And that's his heel persona. It's like it's anti Cena. It's dark Cena. It's Bizarro Cena is what we're getting. And I think the fact that he's able to play that range and still have the fans eating out of the palm of his hand, I think I can't wait to see another John Cena film because of the range that I'm getting to see him play now.
Okay. Um, so I agree with you about that for sure. Uh, I like to keep in mind the Rock's coming off of Moana 2. Is he is the franchise bigger than him? Absolutely. Was it going to make $1 billion without him? Most likely, they probably could have recast Maui and it would have made $1 billion in its sleep because that's how sequels to Disney and Pixar movies do when they do them right. And honestly, I thought the Moana 2 was better than Moana 1 in every way except for the music. The music in Moana 1, untouchable, of course. Um, and then he's got the live action Moana that he's filming. He's got the Hurt Machine coming out where he's like that UFC boxer, whatever fighter guy. And then he's just got cast as the Don Kingpin of Hawaii Godfather guy in a Martin Scorsese movie.
Yeah.
Now, usually you cast The Rock, he's like franchise Viagra. He's guaranteed to get you $500,000. Excuse me, $500 million basically anytime you see him in a thing. Cena, he's doing a lot with Amazon right now. He had that Ricky Stenicki, which I found funny, but they dropped it straight on Amazon. He's got that new movie, Head of the State, coming out with Idris Elba. Looks fantastic, going straight to Amazon. Nothing upsets me more than when they put their movies directly on streaming because you don't have the opportunity to make the large chunk of your profit, which is in the movie theaters. Um, will he be cast more? We got Peacemaker season 2 coming up. Hopefully this can help broaden his career. And it looks like it does seem like he's having fun with it. He gaslit an entire arena of people who were chanting, "We are sorry." And he said, "You hear that at home? They're saying we aren't sorry." And I was like, that's what makes him the GOAT because he can take something and gaslight a whole arena full of people. And then they're like calling him an a-hole. Like he has them at the palm of his hand. And if he wants them chanting what, it's because he wants it. And then the one time they try to do it on him, he's like, and if I talk in cadence, you chant what? And it's just like, like, dude, he's just so good.
Yeah.
He's just so good. So it's going to hurt The Rock. It shouldn't hurt Cena. We will have to see what's going on. And I brought up Avengers Age of Ultron at the beginning of this. I think that 6 months down the line, when we look back at WrestleMania, obviously we had two instant classics with the Roman Reigns triple threat and the Bianca Belair triple threat. Those were just instant 5-star classics that you're going to go back and watch again and again.
I
Let's hear
thought
it.
so. I thought that the main event night one was incredible, and I this is one of the matches that I thought had it had such in my mind such forced buildup to it, and there was no real like I kept on thinking, why isn't this a number one contenders match? Why
Mm-hmm.
isn't they? There's something that is driving them to the title, and I think that's one of the things that I like modern wrestling, or at least in the past couple of years, has been a little bit where I feel as if the title, the championship itself, is more of just a trinket, more of just an object rather than the boyhood dream Shawn Michaels finally winning his championship, the belt that Brett truly thought he was the champion of the world when he held that title. Though the belt doesn't symbolize what it used to, it's more of just a trinket. And that's kind of what going into the Rhea Ripley, Bianca Belair, Io Sky, I actually really like this. Where okay, we're fighting over this title, but the problem that I didn't like about it is you got Io, who is the champion, whose biggest gripe in the whole thing is I'm not getting enough attention. You're the champion. If they want to bicker, take your title, walk out of it. You're the champion. Act like a champion. But every time she's like, no, I want attention. I want attention. And I feel as if that kind of pulled me out of it. And when you go into the match, while I do think you have the three, and it couldn't have been a title. These three are going to put on a phenomenal match. For me, I feel as if it was the second best women's match of night two. I feel as if the Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez, Becky Lynch, the Lyra Valkyria match was much more cohesive. While I'm sure it did have a lot of choreographed moments, it didn't look like a choreographed fight. And I think that because all three of those, Rhea Ripley, Io Sky, and Bianca Belair, are so incredibly talented that they can do all these crazy spots, that they wanted to jam them all in. And they did a great job of jamming it in. It just, for me, it felt like I was watching gymnastics. I was watching a choreographed fight. Where if you look at the triple threat from the night before, I'm sure there are choreographed spots in there all over. It always felt like every move had a meaning. There was reason why they did this and followed it up with this, where I felt as if there was a spot that really took me out where, and it was really, they did it super quick. And it's a spot where um, not Io, Bianca and Rhea both take a bump, and then they have to scoop back together, back to back, so that Io can come off the top rope and make a dive. It's maybe the camera angle was bad because it was right up on it. You could see them take the bump and then hurry up to scoop their backs together. It's just a lot of, it was just very choreographed. Whereas I watched the fight later where you have the heel, female version of Shawn Michaels and Diesel, two dudes with attitude, versus Lyra Valkyria, who is clean cut babyface. I think this is the first Lyra match that I've watched really the full thing. Man, she can work. She's an incredible worker. And
He's
then
a
you
great
got the
worker.
return. Oh my goodness, she's incredible. And then you have the returning Becky Lynch. I mean, I felt as if that match just had everything that I wanted, except for the fact I wanted the heel. I feel as if the heel should have retained somehow. And then for them to throw it all away the next night, I don't know about that. But yeah, I just felt as if the opening triple threat match a little bit too scripted, a little bit too choreographed. Great, phenomenal fighters. I also don't get the reason why Io was such a, you know, the whole thing was that she's not getting attention. That's why it was a triple threat match. But
So
still a very good
those are
match. But I
some, go
go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah,
No,
so
no, go
those are
ahead.
some great points though. Um, as far, in my mind, the EO Sky thing, it was almost like she's asking the audience to pay attention to her. So
I
like
hear
it was like a metaphor, like these two girls aren't paying attention to her. And honestly, as an audience member, I couldn't give two craps about EO Sky. She's a good worker, yes. And then they're sending her out, giving her a microphone when she's really not the best talker. They had two women who barely speak English as a second language, out there trying to have like a. It just felt like that's an interesting decision to make. But EO is Triple H's baby, and so we know he loves her. And I think that this was done to show the fans we have to respect EO Sky. Problem I have with that is like you ruined Bianca Belair's undefeated WrestleMania streak. And I said it last night on the review. Like when you've got somebody with a streak of more than five, like you need to preserve that for as long as possible. Make that a story. It wasn't even mentioned. All that was mentioned is that EO's never won, and now Rhea's never beaten EO, and that's bull crap. That's baloney. Because I think in kayfabe or not, I think Rhea, if she really wanted to, she could just destroy EO Sky.
Yeah,
This whole
just wipe her
genius
out.
of the sky, all she does is a moonsault, and she calls it something else. Like that doesn't scream genius to me. That screams like maybe master, maybe like low level doctorate level, but genius, I don't know about that. Now, as far as the tag team matches, I thought that the one on Raw was miles better than the one at Mania. And I
Really?
understand why they did it because there were fans, there were little girls in that audience crying for face Becky Lynch when she came back. So
Yeah.
you really don't want to have too many of those things happening at WrestleMania. You want to send some of the fans home happy. And then the next night, they had that whole swerve. Honestly, I think Liv and Raquel should have the titles. So
Yeah.
them getting them back, I think was correcting the original mistake. They had Lyra two belts for 5 seconds. Becky's doing everything she can to help Lyra, who's her fellow countrywoman, do these things. And that's kind of how it feels. It doesn't feel like it's storytelling for the sake of storytelling. It's like, I want to help these guys. Like, I want this person to go over. I like this person. So whatever. I mean, you could say the same thing about Seth winning, but at least it was because of Heyman and it was a new alliance and that story is moving forward. We don't really have any idea what's going to happen with the Oscar. Oh, she talked to Stephanie Vaquer. You mean to tell me she's going to put her title on the line against Stephanie? Like, for real, for real? No, there are plenty of women in the WWE main roster that deserve those opportunities. And not that Stephanie doesn't deserve the opportunity, but how about um, the girl that they crapped all over in Bailey? I know we had that last year. How about Nia Jax again? I know a lot of people don't like her. How about, letting a Zoe Stark or a Zelina Vega or crap, even let Maxine Dupree, like, you have the opportunity, and now they're having a women's evolution part 2 pay-per-view coming up, and I see that they feel like it feels like it's wishy-washy and things like that. Um, let's see here. What are we working with as far as time is concerned? Because I don't want it to cut us out, and I know we both have places to be. Uh, but I very much appreciate your takes on this because while we are very similar, we have some very differing opinions,
Yeah.
some very in line opinions, and that's what's going to make this great. So this is Major Push Wrestling. This is the first episode back. There were definitely some kinks to iron out for sure. We're gonna get those things ironed out, and we hope that you guys like Sonny uh, being here. I know I liked him being here. I just got the warning that we're running out of time. So we're gonna find a way to get this done for you guys. But this is a nice little short little snippet of what you can expect between Major Push Wrestling with Sonny and myself and potentially other people coming to join us. And I hope you guys all liked it. Sonny, do you have anything to plug or where can people find you or anything to say?
They can find me Wednesdays nights on Major Push Wrestling.
You heard it here first, chat. All right, guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get this video uploaded to y'all as quickly as possible, and we're gonna see if we can't make it, the next one become an actual live stream where the sound is working. We were right there, right at the 1 yard line, Seattle Seahawks, and we decided to throw instead of making the run happen for whatever reason. But in that metaphor, analogy, however you want to put it, I'm a Patriots fan. So good. Let them
You're
throw
happy
it.
either way.
Yeah, let them throw it. All right, guys. From Sonny, from Gino, this is Major Push Wrestling. And as always, I'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.